Traffic and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft. Dan Proft is out. I'm John Anthony filling in for Dan Proft. Host of Detroit's Morning Answer and Black and White Radio, heard every Saturday right here on these airways from 4 to 7 p.m. You know, one of the things that I love to do, not only on Black and White, but also on Detroit's Morning Answer, is tell the stories that are out there of people that are really, really doing great and good in their neighborhoods. I love to bring out and expose people because it's not done enough, especially on conservative radio. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have Liz Abunaw, is the owner and operator of 40 Acres Fresh Market, Chicago's only black-owned grocery store located in the Austin neighborhood. Abunaw is a Cornell University graduate with a background in sales and distribution. Liz launched the market in 2018 as a pop-up produce stand before expanding to a permanent brick-and-mortar store in 2025. Her mission is simple yet profound: to make fresh, healthy food accessible to everyone while empowering residents through jobs and local ownership. Liz, welcome to Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello. I think that was probably one of the most accurate introductions I've ever heard.
Well, I try to do my homework every time that I interview people, and I really, really wanted to do something different on Chicago's Morning Answer. So my first question to you, Liz, is because you and I both know. Look, I'm born and raised in Chicago, Cabrini Green, south side of Chicago, and then I moved out.
Okay.
But what we know that there are a lot of food deserts throughout the black community. What inspired you to take on something as ambitious as opening a full-service grocery store in Austin?
I think part of it is insanity, hubris, and a little bit of naivety about what I was getting into. I think you're going to have to combine those things in order to do this.
Yeah.
Sorry, my headphones fell out.
No, that's fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. I think, so for me, it was seeing an opportunity.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Here's what I know. People eat.
Yeah.
People eat. Everybody, we kind of have to do it every day, multiple times a day, if we want to stay alive. And it didn't start with, I lived in this neighborhood and I don't have access to food. That wasn't the case at all. I was actually randomly in the neighborhood and I needed cash.
Yeah.
And I couldn't easily access my cash in a way that is inexpensive. I was saying to my mother the other day, being poor is expensive. If you don't have a bank account, the amount of money it takes to get your check cashed costs you more than if you do. Or like, the simple getting basic goods and services, you have to travel further for them.
Yeah.
So I was just looking for cash. I didn't want to pay a corner store ATM of $5 to get $20 out, and I couldn't find a cheap way to do it. And it kind of opened my eyes to this inequality in Chicago, that if I go to certain neighborhoods, I can get everything I want at my fingertips, and I go to other neighborhoods where everybody looks like me, but they can't get those things. And so it changed my perspective on how I looked at the city.
Yeah. And
because I have a background in food and grocery and retail from the vendor side, having worked for General Mills, I was like, well, I guess the only solution is a grocery store. I mean, that's the only thing that came into my mind.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little bit stubborn. And once I get an idea in my head, it kind of sticks with me, and I'm like, no, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
It's been extremely difficult. Sometimes I wish I didn't do it, but
I'm sure the residents are happy to get some good, fresh food from 40 Acres, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I think that beyond, I want to be clear. I'm not there to save a neighborhood.
Yeah.
People have been getting food, and however they can get it, so before I got there. I think what residents like is I can walk out my front door and walk a few blocks. I don't have to take 2 buses. I don't have to drive. I have I have a place in my neighborhood that feels welcoming, that's clean, that has an abundance of fresh fruits and veggies that I would normally eat. It has a butcher. It has
Oh, really?
I didn't come to play with people. It has a full line of groceries. It has your bread, your milk, your eggs. It has, your international foods, your harissa, your authentic tortillas. It has those things. And I'm like, I can get the things that I need right here, right now. If I am making a dish and I forgot something, I can bolt over to the grocery store, get it, and be good. It doesn't have to be something I think about.
Yeah. See, Liz, I grew up with a neighborhood butcher. We had our neighborhood butcher, Miss Mac's store, right on 88th and Low. And we would always, literally, it was a block and not even a block away from where I grew up. And I love the neighborhood butcher. But you've said, and I love this, you said that you're not a non-for-profit, but a for-profit business that serves the community. Why is that distinction so clear? So important, I should say.
I think it's clear because when you're a for-profit, you have to make money.
Yeah.
I think that there are commercial solutions, and I think oftentimes in our neighborhoods, when it comes to Black neighborhoods, there's this idea that we cannot sustain commerce. And I challenge that idea because we are spending money outside of our neighborhoods on the goods and services that we want. I think that there's this misconception that if an area doesn't have grocery stores, everybody's going to the gas station, everybody's eating fast food. No, they travel to more affluent areas and they buy the food there. So I'm like, if you can spend money in a predominantly white, more affluent neighborhood, then there's money there to be spent. Why can't we capture those dollars within this predominantly Black community?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the theory of the case. It's something I have to prove out, but that's where the logic behind 40 Acres came. It wasn't from this idea that, I have to help people.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity.
Yeah. What would you say were the toughest challenges you face in bringing this vision to life? Because I know those big grocers, they tend to come and try to crush the little small mom and pop. They don't want that competition. What were some of the toughest challenges you faced?
Nobody's thinking about me right now. Oh, and that's good.
I think I just put you on the radar then. What are you saying, huh?
I don't know. I don't know how many people listen to you.
Oh, it's a lot of people. Well, it's not my show. It's not my show, but I'm just filling in, and Dan Prof has a huge listening audience.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think the challenges were not knowing what I didn't know.
Yeah.
I think there's challenges with funding. We got very blessed.
Yeah.
With the funding environment that we came into in 2018. Not actually 2018, but coming in 2018, being able to establish a proof of concept first with like the pop-up markets, and then starting in 2019, all of these funding options just started becoming open that were normally just open for like nonprofits, but were open to small business because people were starting to focus on, food access. How do we get commercially viable food access sustained in these neighborhoods? So there was the Healthy Food Financing Initiative. There was the American Heart Association had the Social Impact Fund. There was funding through COVID. There was funding through the Biden administration, funding through when J.B. Pritzker came into Illinois, he did the minority-owned business grant that we got. So there was a very specific funding environment at a very specific time that we were able to take advantage of in order to fund this. But that's a lot of work. I think one of the things I didn't really understand before starting was just the people management, labor. When they say human resources, people are humans, and you're dealing with human issues, whether that be they're sick, they're taking care of sick family, they're going through a breakup with their boyfriend, and they're bringing that stuff to work. Like, you managing people, developing people, finding what motivates people, getting people all on the same page and following processes. Also, like the accountability and discipline systems within, having to fire people. Like all of that stuff has been very, very difficult as you learn it along the way. And then with the store being open, it's a really simple thing. Yeah. It is, how do you get people through the store? How do you get them to their store, and how do you get them buying enough to keep you open?
Yeah. And you know what, Liz, one of the things that you hear a lot, especially in Black communities, one of the reasons why a lot of like the Targets, I remember also growing up with the Serta Savers and things of that like that. One of the reasons why they say they have to close their stores is because a lot of the theft, the shoplifting. Is that something you deal with?
No.
Yeah.
No. The amount of theft I have dealt with in the business since I started in 2018 has been infinitesimal.
Wow.
Whether it be at pop-up markets, produce stands, delivery service, there have been people who we missed that their payment didn't go through and we delivered to them anyway. I can count on two hands in 7 years. No, wait. So since 2020, how many people have actually stiffed us on a bill?
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying theft doesn't happen. It's
Correct.
Retail. And I think that we act like theft in retail is only in our neighborhoods. It is everywhere. But there's a saying in retail, sales cures all.
That's true.
And theft makes issues with sales worse, but I've never seen it completely wipe out in a successful, profitable business. Because theft is how they calculate it as a percentage of revenue. So the higher the revenue goes, the smaller that shrink number goes.
Okay.
And so and here's why I dispute a lot of this, is because the phenomenon of quote unquote food deserts is a recent one. It is not something that has always been, because let's be clear, the neighborhood demographics haven't changed in the last 30 to 40 years. These have been predominantly Black neighborhoods. They have been low income. They have had higher rates of crime. And they used to have grocery stores. And those grocery stores were there for years and years and years. So how are you running unprofitably for 20 years if it's the same environment? It's the same environment. And so there was an article in The Atlantic about rural and urban food deserts, and that it's not for the reasons people think they are.
Yeah.
There was a lot of policy shift during the Reagan administration and deregulation that really pushed out those smaller mom and pop stores. It allowed for buying discrimination, which made Walmart super, super cheap, and your neighborhood grocer couldn't get those same prices.
That is so true.
I challenge and I push back against it's all because they're criminals and they're stealing. And another thing, if we are buying food outside of our community, how come that, and we're the problem? Why isn't the huge rates of theft showing up at the stores outside of our community where we shop?
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the Safety Act too, and how they now, $1,000 now is the threshold. Now, I'm a former legislator and a former police officer as well. So, and I did a lot of criminal justice reform measures. So to hear you say that there's no shoplifting and thing like that, I think
I didn't say there's none. I didn't say there's none. I didn't say there's none. What I said is that it is not I don't think that is the main or priority reason. And I gave the reasons why, that it's the same demographic. So you're saying that people just started stealing now that they weren't stealing in the 90s when crime was even higher?
Yeah, no.
You see what I'm saying? It's, if you logic your way through it, it doesn't come to a logical conclusion this is the reason why.
So, Liz, where are you based? Where's the location where people can visit? Do you have a website, any social media platform so that people can? Oh, gosh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the store is located at 5713 West Chicago Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60651. You can find us online at 40acresfreshmarket.com. That is the word 40, not the number, FORTY, acresfreshmarket.com. You can find us on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. It's all 40 Acres Fresh Market. Yeah, we have like over 7,000 Instagram followers.
Jeez.
Yeah, so we've been at this for a while.
Yeah.
Before the store opened, we had over 5,000 Instagram followers. So I've been building this and building a customer base and a following for years.
Now,
and
that's not far from
Narragansett,
Narragansett, right? That's not far from Narragansett, right? Is that where it's at?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere around there?
No, so it's Chicago Avenue, which is south of North Avenue, and Narragansett is even further north than North Avenue.
That's right.
So we're further south. So we're in the central part of the Austin neighborhood, like right in the middle.
I know exactly
on
where
Chicago
you're at.
Avenue.
Yeah.
Chicago and Waller.
Well, Liz Abunaw, owner and operator of 40 Acres Fresh Market, thank you so much for joining us on Chicago's Morning Answer.
This is so much fun.
Yes, thank you. I have to have you on my Black and White radio show.
Okay. That's not what this is?
No, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Prof.
Okay, cool beans.
All right.
All
I wanted to mix it up this morning. So
Okay.
all right.
Good.
Liz Abunaw, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks. Have a
All
good
right,
one.
you too. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer. Don't miss In Grace with Pastor Jim Scudder Jr. Now heard on Sunday mornings at 7:30. Tune in and find hope as Jim Scudder explores God's Word and His world each Sunday morning right here on AM 560. The Answer.